Okay, finished up Thursday's practice and had a good week and excited about Saturday against Michigan. Open up to questions.
Bears full strength or
Yes.
pretty
Yep.
close to it?
Good.
How about
Yeah.
Mahone and Zaire?
Mahone in, good to go. Zaire is out. O-U-T, out.
And Luke Massa's the guy.
Number 3.
How do you imagine using Mahone, at slot running back? Where do you see him?
Yeah, that's about right. Slot running back. He's going to have to work his way back in it, but he's earned his way to be on the travel roster. So that's we didn't put him on it just because, he did a lot of good things before he got injured and had a good week. So he earned a seat on the bus.
Brian, you had 10 freshmen play last week, and you've had freshmen play on the road for you before. How do you measure as a coach whether they're ready to react to that kind of atmosphere?
Well, I think you go in and you play them, and you find out, how in the flow of the game they measure up, and it looked at for us. We've already decided that they're going to play. We went into game 1 and put them in there. So none of them are critical roles. All of them are complementary players for us. Maybe Jalen Smith could be considered more of a frontline guy because he did have a starting role. But all of them are going to play, and we'll just see how it plays out. But again, I think we'll just have to see how it goes. We've already talked to them about the atmosphere, and look, we're going up there to win a game. If they're nervous and can't handle it, then we probably recruited the wrong guy.
How did the kicking game shake out?
Pretty good. We had a good week. Kyle continues to kick the ball well, and I think we're still have Nick and Alex if called upon that they can come out and help us.
So Kyle will be the starter as the field goal against Michigan?
I think we'll see what happens as we get to game time, but I think I made it pretty clear we like Brinza, but you never know what might happen. There's a lot of kicking that goes along with what he's doing, so we like what he's done, but I'm not going to paint myself into a corner. If I need to use those 2 guys, they're ready to go if we need them.
I know it's impossible to simulate, but scout team quarterback, did you use Rashad?
Yeah, we've used Kinlaw and Will Cronin.
Did you use Rashad more with his?
Yeah, I think Rashad had a little bit more, but again, you're not going to get, you get a little bit of the scrambling that Gardner has, but you're not going to get exactly that. He's he's a pretty elusive guy. But I thought Coach Diaco and I talked this afternoon, and we watched some film. We were pretty happy with our scout team and the preparation that it gave our defense this week. We always sit down on Thursdays and talk about the guys that are over there, and we were quite pleased with the work they gave us.
Frank, getting back to the freshmen, specifically the 2 freshman running backs, where are they in ball protection and pass blocking and knowledge of the offense and all those kind of things going into obviously a very tough environment?
I would say that they've done very well, or I would not have played them in game 1. If I felt like they couldn't do those things, we probably would not have played them. They're going to need to continue to get seasoned along the way, but if we have to play them, they could do all the jobs. They've shown that they can do it in practice. We'll see how they execute in the game. They're not finished products by any manner.
And you kept the number 1 line in when those 2 guys played. I'm sure that wasn't a coincidence. You wanted to get a good look.
Yeah, I think I made it pretty clear that all those backs need to continue to develop, and you throw them in there behind the second, third group, it's hard to evaluate them. So they've been evaluated in the first game, and I think that's going to continue throughout the year. It's a long year. We're going to play a lot of very good opponents, and we're going to need to keep evaluating all those guys.
You obviously went undefeated throughout the whole regular season last year, but you went undefeated on the road. What did your guys learn from seasons 1 and 2, and then going into 3 that allowed them to be able to handle those kind of environments?
Well, there's a lot of things that go with it. I think, you know, you've got to have a mental toughness to handle, you know, the road, and you got to go play to win. You know, you got to have a mental attitude. We got to go to Michigan and play to win. You know, we've got to be the aggressors. We can't go up there and worry about the noise. It's going to be loud. You're not going to be able to hear. If you're worried about hearing something, you're not going to hear it. You better be locked in. So I think it's an attitude. I think it's a toughness, mental toughness, and you got to go play to win. You know, you can't go up there hoping and praying to win. You got to go play to win.
You've taught them to welcome going into that kind of environment?
I don't know. Maybe they have absorbed my personality a little bit more along the way about the way we're going to play each and every game. You know, whether it's home or away. You know, we haven't lost since, you know, it's been a couple of years since we lost at home. You know, so, you know, we hope we mirror that. You know, in terms of the way we play the game. But in particular on the road, you do need a maturity as well, because there's a lot more downtime. It's a night game. There's a lot more, you know, that goes into the downtime where you have to really plan it out well. So I think all of those things play into it. But we got a lot of guys who have done it before too.
TJ Jones looked so explosive against Temple. I mean, have you seen that significant jump up in explosiveness since last year?
Yeah, we started seeing it in the spring, and I think over the summer months, his work ethic. And you got to understand, he stayed healthy too. You know, he battled some injuries, some soft tissue injuries for a while. He stayed injury free. He's been able to really train aggressively. He did some things in supplement of our workouts as well in terms of, you know, conditioning and you know, speed work. And this year we, in our 4th year, we added a speed element to our workouts that we hadn't had before. I think it benefited him in particular. So, yeah, there's definitely an improvement there for him.
Can you explain what that speed element was?
Yeah, we just added an element to our weight training and conditioning program, working on a speed component, an SAQ component that we hadn't had before, because we were so concerned with volume and strength that we were able to add some fundamental things as it relates to building speed.
Coach, is there a balance on that play to win confidence, yet still have that hunger of the underdog mentality sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, you know, look, the pressure's on Michigan. They're at home. They've got to, you know, they got to win at home. You know, I think that, you know, for us, you know, we're going to go up there swinging and go on the road, and we're going to have to play well. It's a very good football team. We know that. We can't go up there and turn the ball over like we did a couple of years ago. We understand that. It's a well-coached football team on both sides of the ball and it's special teams. So we know the challenges ahead of us, but we also know that if you're going to win at Michigan, and nobody's been able to do that now under Brady Hoke at Michigan, you better go up there with an attitude to be aggressive and go play the game. You can't sit back and wait and hope. If you do, you're not going to win.
And Saturday, will it be a relaxing day, a focus day? You don't want to get too high too early.
Yeah, I think we do a pretty good job of building up to it. You know, it's still Thursday. It's 48 hours. We still have some more work. And we've got all day Friday and Saturday to really build up to this. So I think we do a pretty good job of measuring it.
Thanks.
I know you're busy with your own team, but there were 7 ejections, I believe, across college football.
Saw it.
With the targeting. Did that change the way you think about that rule at all?
No, it didn't, but it surprised me that there were that many. I thought that was a high number. Didn't get a chance to look at all of them. A couple that I did see looked to be clearly, ejections. We are still steadfast in our belief that our guys know the difference between intent to injure and tackling and being aggressive football players. And so we'll continue to coach the same way.
Some of the guys in here yesterday were talking about Tommy's calmness and how much of an asset that is on the road, especially a place like Michigan. What are some of the things he does, whether they be little things, or how does he communicate that calmness on the field to his teammates?
You know, he's had 18 starts. You know, he's played against, you know, great competition. You know, so I think, you know, he's a guy that has been out there and has been part of the battles, and so you know that obviously is you know a piece where the guys see a leader, and he's the leader out there. There's no debate, you know, who's calling the shots out there. You just watch him operate. He's getting us in the right plays. He's making the checks. He's communicating to everybody. He's setting the formations, and so, you know, he exudes that leadership and direction. So when he's out there, obviously there's a calm.
Kind of along those lines, Brian, a lot of those 18 starts came 2 years ago. How is the Tommy that you're going to take to Michigan this weekend the most different from the one that you took there 2 years ago?
I would say he's probably, I think the moment is not quite as large as it was 2 years ago. I think that probably 2 years ago he was operating on instinct a little bit, and I think now he's operating a little bit more on just a clear understanding of everything. He's just a lot more comfortable. And when I say instinct, he was reacting. I think you're going to see somebody that's so much more proactive in the game. He's going to see it before it happens. He did a very good job in that game. He'll do a better job of taking care of the football. So I guess my words to that question specifically is you got a mature guy, and I think you'll see. I think you'll see that on Saturday. I hope you see it. I expect to see it.
Anything more? Cool.
All right. Thank you.
Everybody.